Z Business Plus makes managing fuel easy. It's fee-free with choice benefits like 8 cents off every litre, every day, everywhere you need us. Sign up today for the 2022 CanStar Blue Best Small Business Fuel Card. Z is for New Zealand. T's and C's apply.
Time to talk to James McOnie from The Crowd Goes Wild. Hello, James.
Hello, Piney, and great to be on the show. Still struggling to catch up with sleep and not even sure where to start with so much football. It's unbelievable.
I don't even know what day it is anymore as far as these games are concerned because, you know, with the games being 11 p.m, 2 a.m, 5 a.m, 8 a.m, and not really wanting to miss too much, and then watching replays, and then I see highlights on TV. I don't even know what's live and what's recorded anymore. But Lionel Messi is still a bit of a magic man for Argentina.
Yeah, it was. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Lionel Messi still looking good, you know. What's he, 35? So definitely doesn't seem over the hill. And his strike, I mean, it was 0-0 against Mexico, pretty good team. And then he struck one low from outside the box. And that was 8 goals from 21 games, exactly the same as Diego Maradona, who was the other great Argentinian, number 10. So I love that symmetry. And, of course, it made me think that, okay, so Diego Maradona scored a quarter of his goals in one game in 1986 against England. One of them was illegal. The other one was immortal. And it was like, it just shows how indelible the mark is. If you make a name for yourself at a World Cup, it lasts forever. And the only thing missing for Messi, of course, is the cup.
Well, they were staring into the abyss a little bit after their first up loss, but they're back on track now, Argentina, and looking, well, more promising to go through to the knockout rounds. Spain 7, Costa Rica 0. Now, of course, if New Zealand had beaten Costa Rica in the Intercontinental Playoff, we would have been playing Spain. I like to think, James, we wouldn't have been as meek as Costa Rica against Spain.
No, I reckon it would have only been 5 or 6. I think that we would have been all right. No, I think New Zealand at full strength are better than Costa Rica. And I think we look at Australia's performance with their win overnight. It was, you know, it was pretty spectacular, really, just seeing Australia get the job done this morning, wasn't it, against, who did they play for? Oh, Tunisia. So They played Tunisia. Their fans whistle every time the ball is worse than vuvuzelas. They whistle every time the opposition has the ball. So Australia did well, scored a really nice goal. And it's weird, I find that as a Kiwi, if we don't make it, I support the Socceroos. It's the one Australian team I support. And I even support the England football team because they're the least divey teams, aren't they? You know, the ones that don't ride around quite as much. They only do one roll rather than 5, you know? And So I'm all for them. But, yes, back to Spain, Piney. They're my pick to win it. Even though they struggle with an out-and-out striker, which they always talk about, I just feel like their brand of football, when it's on song, nobody can live with it.
Yeah, they are and were the other night superb. I mean, tomorrow morning we've got Spain v Germany. Group players throwing us up an absolute doozy. Even more so now that Germany are effectively playing for their World Cup lives at this tournament because they lost their first game. If they lose tomorrow, Germany, they're effectively out after 2 games.
Yeah, that's the massive one. I was trying to work out, how do we tell people what's the best way to get into the World Cup? Well, you watch the game tomorrow morning, Spain v Germany, 8 a.m. That's just going to be epic. And Germany going down to Japan. We have to remember that Japan have like 4 players in the Bundesliga, the top league there, 2 Premier League players, a few players in the top flight, the Ligue 1 in France. So, you know, they're no slouches, Japan. We probably need to accept that they belong at the top table these days. And but still, Germany, it just doesn't seem right, does it? You know, those 2 nations seem to get on really well at one point. Let's not talk about that. But at the moment, it's them playing for their lives. However, if you really want to see full drama, the third game of the group is always played or kicks off simultaneously. So Group B, which is Iran, USA, Wales v England, 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Oh my goodness, that's going to be huge because they've all got a chance.
Yeah, they do, and I think a number of these groups will end up that way. And that then obviously we know in Group A Qatar are out already, and so nothing to play for them in their final game. But there will be a number of these groups that going into those simultaneous final pool matches, there'll be all to play for. And it could be one of those where across the 90 minutes, the top two in real time change 3 or 4 times, which always, we'll need to do quite a bit of double screening at those times, James.
Yes, I'm a chronic double screener. I often triple screen and sometimes miss things. But the one thing about football is it just keeps you, when the World Cup, it's so massive, you have to you can't look away. Even watching Mexico, I was watching them today and I couldn't help but feel sorry for them. I feel like it's a wasted generation. They've had so many good players around the place and weird ones who they leave at home and on the bench, like Raul Jimenez of Wolves. But look, mate, I know you're the voice of football, so I've picked Spain. And I just want to know your pick, because is it France with Mbappe and Griezmann, who are sort of just looking imperious at the moment, but who do you like to win it?
Yeah, I do like France, I must admit, and I think in tight games you need game breakers, and we know Messi is one, but I think for France, I just watch Mbappe. He is just a Rolls Royce of a player, if that is the right analogy to use. It's probably wrong. He's just a gazelle. The way he moves across the grass, the way he finds ways to score goals in different fashions. Yeah, France are my favourite, but I know that as well as you do, from having watched these for about 40 years now, that things never go to plan. So they probably won't win it now that I've said they will, but I'm looking forward to watching it all play out, particularly once we get to the round of 16.
Do you know what, Piney? I totally agree about Mbappe. Watching him, it's like you remember sports people who just seem to have that extra gear, that pace. Like it's Christian Cullen, it's Martin Afire, it's all these different things. And it's not just speed when it comes to Mbappe. I mean, he scored a goal with his thigh. And that's what you got to remember in football. It doesn't just have to be with your feet or your head. Any part of the body, as long as it's not the arm, is fine. The greatest goal of all time scored by Diego Maradona was pretty much a toe poke. Yep. I think the other Ronaldo from Brazil, he scored a World Cup final goal with a toe poke. You can use your thigh, use your bum, whatever you like. Just make sure it gets in the back of the net.
They all count for one, James. They all count for one. Stock up on the coffee, mate. Love chatting to you as always. Sunday afternoons, we'll do it again a week from now. Check out James on The Crowd Goes Wild, of course.
Hi everybody, it's Bree and Clint with a much shorter, much less annoying reminder that if you'd like to, you can check out our podcast as well.
That's right. If you've got some extra time or you just feel like listening to a different podcast, ours is available.
You can search Bree and Clint wherever you get your podcasts.